Be advised, mature content ahead. This podcast is brought to you ad-free thanks to the Legion of Demons at patreon.com/NOTLP. If you like what you hear, there's much more at patreon.com/NOTLP. Join the Legion. That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And now the show.
How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
I might be losing my ability to write in cursive.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I may have already.
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know. I think I can write some in cursive. I definitely have had moments where I was like, wait, how do I do that one? And then I think, I can't remember, but I may have in some cases just made the regular print version and continued on in cursive.
Continue on.
I do a combination of print and cursive most of the time. It's weird.
I don't know why it just occurred to me and I had to say
I like to use pictographs of my own design and let people suss it out.
Kill emojis.
So what do you think was being communicated by the recent oldest painting that depicts a narrative they just found with the dude holding his dick and the two leopards are on either side of him?
I haven't seen this.
Yeah. What is the story?
Not on the pulse of what the news, Amy. What's going on?
I'm not
Kelley, if you're designing
I'm not convinced that I'm not convinced he's holding his dick in that.
You think he's defending himself?
I'm not convinced. Well, I'm not convinced he's not either, but it's not, I don't know that you could say for certain unless you're an anthropologist or an archaeologist who's studied it.
Are they saying
no,
this is the oldest pictograph?
Oldest
narrative.
It's like the thing that's actually telling a story. Because he's holding his wee-wee. That's what the scientists say.
Oh, sorry, Elsa.
Art historians, scientists. And that the leopards are there and what is the story?
I dropped my
But if he is holding his dick,
trying to eat his dick.
Probably. The story probably is there were two leopards trying to eat a man, and he thought, if I have to go, I'd rather go dick last, and I'm gonna hold that while they devour me, and hopefully I'll be dead before they get to it.
That's the only thing they find, just a dick next to two leopards.
And then they did.
Welcome to the show.
So the leopards ate everything but the dick.
Who knows?
Well, they ate it, but last.
Okay.
Because he was covering it. You see,
you saved the best for last.
It's a parable. It's a parable for guarding close to you what's most important.
Yes.
Sometimes the leopards go round your schwans.
Anyway, hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
It's the last show of 2022.
Dee-dee-doo.
So there you go.
Fuck
listeners.
off 2022.
Yeah. Mostly for sure. We're giving you something extra tonight. You are going to get something you haven't had in so long. Are you ready?
Edging you.
We've been edging you, and you didn't even know it, and now you're going to hear it, and you're going to be like, "Oh my god, I didn't even know it. I'm already so close. I had no idea." But we've got a porner for you.
Woohoo!
So get ready to blast.
Yeah.
Make sure you're in a safe space.
No matter how you blast,
when you
get
blow.
ready to.
This is not the one to listen to without earbuds.
Yeah. Also, you can hear in the end of the show my new tune, "Bouncing Baby Boys."
Great song.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to close out on that.
By my childhood arcade experiences while waiting for mom and dad to bowl.
People would bounce him.
I was
Nice beat.
bounced on the knees of gods. I wouldn't be able to spit up all over the vestments of success without bouncing on the knees of gods.
And also,
It's got good art.
Thank you. I drew that with my hands.
I know.
It's an arcade cabinet.
It's an arcade. Yeah.
Of the bouncing baby boys, and the toughest kid in town's coming to put quarters on, and he's entering the saloon. He's ready to play.
And he's gonna play.
Baby boys.
It's like Strong John's.
Yeah, and he's like, I got next, and you're like, oh, that kid's got a mohawk and a wallet chain. He's gonna rule the arcade today.
What's the last generation?
Us.
That has these sorts of memories.
Us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't need quarters. You need your Dave & Buster's player card.
It smelled like cigarettes, like intensely like cigarettes. Western Bowl. If you're from the area.
Did you put quarters on as next or the tokens? I think they had tokens over there.
At Doc Holiday, I think it was still quarters, and they had a popcorn machine that just popped popcorn in like a paper bag, like a lunch bag. It would spit kernels and then somehow pop them. I don't even know. It was so dirty. Even the popcorn tasted like cigarettes, and like
that's what they popped it in cigarette tar.
Cigarette tar popped kernels, and then they had Ninja Gaiden with the button on the stick.
Oh yes, Ninja Gaiden. Good. I was just thinking about that game today or yesterday.
The arcade one was so much fun.
It was really easy to get your quarters or tokens stolen at Doc Holidays because there's all these nooks and crannies there.
There are a lot of nooks and crannies, and there was always some kid who was trying to like rig the machines for one reason or another. It had a lot of character. I found pictures of it online.
And there are a lot of those games where you
wait, was that the one at Kmart? Where was that?
This one,
Western Bowl in Western Hills.
Yeah, in Western Bowl.
Oh, I was more. I don't know if I ever. I'm sure I went into that arcade, but. The Northgate arcade is the arcade of my memory. Northgate and Forest Fair Mall, but Northgate's the one right in where the food court would be now.
That was called Tilt at Northgate. Yep. And Aladdin's at Gold Circle.
Yeah, do you
some more Coleraine history.
There
for
was
you guys.
one right at the end of our street here too, where the post office used to be.
The dudes at Tilt. You said Tilt. I remember going in there and getting real fedora dude energy from the guys that worked there
back then.
Yeah,
fedora
just
dudes?
like you know,
early adopters.
Gotta know what I'm talking about.
Neckbeard life. Early neckbeard.
Future incels.
Pithecus.
There was just a vibe from the dudes that worked there. That I'm like, but anyway.
Speaking of evolution and all that, like we were with pictograms and neckbeard.
We sure were.
Neckbeard man. Pre-neckbeard man.
So there you have that. So we're definitely going to look forward to that. And then listeners, after that, we have for you the rear end, my favorite thing to say on the show all year long.
You know how
get your rear ends ready.
I always try to put a butt in the artwork. I'm disabled right now.
You said it wrong. I'm sorry. You're what?
I'm disabled. My right, I can't use my right arm at all. But normally I would conjure up for the rear end like a butt in the art somehow.
We'll figure it out.
Can we just put a butt as the art? Just find a butt.
A butt as a neck beard, like a butt. It's a butt
with the neck beard and fedora.
But it has the neck beard and the fedora, and it's like a milady butt.
Would it have two neck beards? Because there's two cheeks.
It could have one neck beard under each. Yeah, if you consider thighs necks in the scenario.
That's what I'm thinking. Because that's the curve that represents the chin.
Only
this sounds horrifying.
Yeah,
this is gonna be bad.
Is it one fedora or one for each cheek?
One big fedora.
It's got to be one big fedora for it to be one single entity. It requires one fedora.
It's got two
tiny
beards
fedora
that represents one head.
Two beards was okay, but if you give it two fedoras, then people are going to think it's two different guys instead of one milady butt crack. Milady. I don't know.
That imagery, if it was real life, it's disgusting. Just localized to ass hair.
Nobody should have ass hair.
Instead of mansplaining, he just goes.
Like you can have ass hair. I'm just saying you can't shape it.
Yeah, in that local.
Don't do it.
Yeah. He's written
shape it.
He's on the 9th
Then
book of a self-published fantasy novel series.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the dust jackets on the back, but they also are all butts.
I think it's pretty clear we've all been cooped up because of the
most of
weather
all,
and the
yeah.
holidays, and we're going a little crazy. And then Kelley had a burst pipe. Oh my God, I would have just died.
It was not awesome.
It was a thing that really concerned me.
Mm-hmm.
Glad
Thank
it happened to you.
For being concerned.
I want you to know we were both concerned. We looked at each other and we're like,
But I did make it clear that you are always allowed to come over and poop in my house
You can
if you
poop
need
here.
to.
She did make that clear, and I assumed that the concern was, you're a couple, so I assumed your shared concern.
Share it, yeah. 50-50.
we shared it.
But Andy, I didn't assume your concern, so I don't know.
I mean, if you want to drive all the way to my house to poop, that you're more than welcome.
You could try throwing it that far too. It's always a challenge. then there's more challenge involved.
It's like the Uncle Rico,
yeah.
but poop. I can toss it.
I have to wait a day. I have to. Anyway, but
Wait a day. You're just gonna shoot the shit out of your ass like a cannon.
Torpedo.
Let's not say we did.
a turd pedo.
Yeah,
Torpedo.
Kelly's gonna downward dog after holding his poop in for a couple days.
Turd and pedo. Two
Well,
words.
I'll try.
And then kaboom! The shit lands at my house.
That would be amazing. Kelley, you'd be rich.
You'd pop, Kelley. You'd hold it until you pop like one of Popeye's spinach cans.
Me shooting a poop to Andy's house is probably more likely than me being able to really do downward dog.
Yeah. Maybe one causes the other.
Yeah, well, downward dog is part of the scenario, so it's very unlikely
know.
it's going to happen.
Yeah. So yeah, the year's about to wrap up. That's why we do this, and you know that.
Mark.
Nobody here is a rookie. We know that, and you know that, and we love you.
Yeah, we're in
I
a
want-
it's a weird mood. Look, I've lost track of time right
Yeah.
now because it's the post-holidays
Yeah.
week, and the snowstorm lasted a couple of days, and I don't know when it started and ended.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a weird year. I mean, like, it sounds. I was
been a weird
thinking
week.
like a childless orphans Christmas is kind of like this is like that's. It sounds so goddamn sad when you say it, but that's what I just experienced, right? For like maybe this is my third maybe as a childless orphan.
Yeah.
It's weird to be in that in between zone where you are not the parent or the child at all. Like neither of those relationships exist.
They still exist. They're just not here.
No, the relationship has ceased to be. So like, I had that thought. It's extra discombobulating because all your patterns are being rewritten. So like everything feels so strange. It has felt strange for years, but like this year even more so. Like because it's like as friends age and their children grow up and you don't really see them on the holidays anymore, and then it's kind of just like just another day. I don't mean this to sound so fucking sad. It's not.
I don't know how to process it.
That's all right.
It's an okay thing. It's just a very hard thing to adjust to. And I know a lot of you listening are going through that too. So know that you're not alone. That you went through it with me and thousands upon thousands of others.
This is true.
I didn't mean to bring it down, y'all.
Good God.
I'm just talking about the distortion of time that Andy was talking about. It turned into something much deeper than that. What I mean to say is,
All right,
like,
what did we get for Christmas? Did anybody get anything they like and want to
different,
talk about? Do you want to talk about your presents? Did you get anything nice, Kelley? Other than
Alise-
your
I don't know
pooping?
how to move on from that, though.
I asked for mom and dad back.
Oh my God.
Jury's still out on that.
Alise did order me something, but it hasn't arrived yet. And I did order her something, and it has not arrived yet.
That's delightful.
Do you guys
You
know
get
what
to
it
go
is?
on Christmas.
Do-
We give
do
each
you know
other's
what it-
presents.
you guys know what
all,
it is?
all year long. No.
Oh, it's.
I mean, I know what I got her,
Okay.
but
I have no clue.
we get each other presents all year long.
Right, yeah.
And that's pretty cool. So we're not always like these weren't even intended necessarily as Christmas presents so much as I saw something that I knew she'd like, and it was very close to Christmas, and vice versa. So yeah. So I mean, I'm sure it will be great. Anything is great.
Anything is great. What if she got you a fresh turd?
A fresh
From her, it'd be
turd
great.
launcher.
It's like
Because if she got it for me, she'd know, she would realize that there was something in me that wanted it that I didn't even know was there. And then when I open it and the smell hits me and I look at it,
but what if
and
you
it
fall
all
in that
clicks,
scenario?
I'm like, oh my God, you knew, but I didn't know.
Did we have to go
You
back
really
to
love me.
You know when you
It
fake
always
it
goes
though,
back
you
to
get
poop.
the first turd from someone and you fake it because you're like, oh, turd, this is great. And then everyone thinks turds are your thing every Christmas. So then every Christmas and every birthday, you're like, oh, I got turds. And they're like, hey, see some turds, brother. Brother, there's a package on our porch right now, brother. Check it out, man.
It's just easy.
so
Something
happy.
you know what people like, so you keep getting it that thing because you know they can be happy with it.
Yeah. They're like, somebody's
I
getting
love
a
that
Duck
scenario.
Dynasty
It's like,
zipper
that's
hoodie
my
right
friend.
now.
He loves turds. I keep.
Yeah. He just loves them.
You're just too polite.
Yeah.
But it's ironic because Kelley sold his toilet to buy Alise's present.
Oh my God. So
I
romantic.
did.
So she has no place to put the turd.
The gift of the
Okay.
poop eye.
I got a nice robe. It's very warm and comfy.
It's like a cloud.
Is that what you're wearing right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm wearing my robe.
Robe twins.
Robe if you want to. Robe
Hey,
around the
listener,
world.
anybody wearing a nice comfy robe right now, you're part of the group. Me and Kelley and you.
And the person that doesn't like robes but now gets a robe every year. I'm sorry.
Because the first time they pretended to really like it.
They're like, I'm hot all the time. And your mom bought me a robe. I'm just hot. I'm hot all the time. And I act like I like it. And then I have like all these robes now. And I can't get rid of them because they're all monograms.
Did you name it Roby?
Roby.
Louise Roby.
I did not. Isn't that fun?
A question. I also have a robe at home that I haven't washed in 10 years probably. Are we supposed to wash robes?
Yeah. More than once every 10 years.
I mean, you don't have to wash it as much as your clothes, maybe, but
I don't know. It's just like
every so often, like a jacket, just toss it in
Is
there.
it because
you know.
it existed during biblical times? You're like, if it's clothing that Jesus wore, it's
because
It's the Technicolor
seasonal.
Dream Coat. It's
seasonal.
Joseph's.
It's like a coat to me. Like I
Yeah.
put it away in the winter and the fall.
Yeah.
And bring in the spring and summer and bring it out in the fall.
I mean, honestly, if you're vacuum sealing that shit up and putting it in
no, I
storage,
just toss it in the closet like
Yeah,
like,
you need
like
to clean
coats.
it then.
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
go ahead and wash
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I should wash my
Wash
dirty
it,
robe.
unfortunately.
He just tosses it out in the backyard and then fishes it back out in the winter.
What color
Well,
is
okay,
it?
it's like my coat, so not visibly dirty. So do I need to wash them? It's like my robe.
What color's the robe?
Gray.
Has it always been
I
gray?
think it started off as pure white.
Yeah.
Started off as
That's
clear.
your indicator right there. It has a
It's
built-in
gray
indicator.
with darker gray streaks around the bottom and the back.
Featuring new crime indicator technology.
I just never thought you had to wash robes.
Yeah.
You do.
It's weird.
You don't have to. You don't have to do
true.
anything.
You don't
There's no
have to do
police. There's no
anything.
robe police.
You
Some
should.
superhero who enforces robe
There is
law.
Robespierre.
Robespierre. Yeah.
But you know how you like you got your winter coat and you dig in your pocket and say, "I'll go find $20."
I love
I always
that.
find like last year's tissues in there.
In your robe.
Yeah.
The robe is the opposite. It's not cool stuff.
No,
you
it's
find
not
in a
like
robe.
it's not like dollar bills or anything like
Well,
that.
because you're like putting your coat on, running out to have fun. You're
Yeah.
putting your robe on because you have diarrhea or something.
What?
I mean, look, you're
We're
gonna wear
not
the
going
robe.
back
talking about
to poop.
tissues like
We're
blow your nose
not.
type tissues, not
You know what I mean?
doo-doo tissues.
I'm just mean you're sick. In general, you're sick.
You're
It's probably
Yeah.
most people are wearing a robe because they don't feel great.
No, I wear it because
Or-
it's comfy.
Well, yeah, it's nice convenience if you're working.
I
from
feel
home.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm just
I'm
chilling
talking
out. in
about
it.
your regular workaday Joes.
All right.
Your drive-through burger people. They're not allowed to wear robes to work. Your
It's all good.
You're essential workers.
essentials. Your librarians.
Yeah.
We should
Well-
normalize robes.
Normalize robes. I'm with
I
you.
thought about it. Like I had to run out to pick up my groceries and get some prescriptions at the pharmacy. Both were drive-through, don't have to get out of the car situations. And I'm like, I could just wear my robe.
Yeah.
You absolutely
But I
could.
didn't.
I'll tell you what, listeners and everyone out there, you know me. I say you should wear. I would have no thought about anything, no matter what you wore to the store.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to feel good. I literally mean that. I wouldn't. I mean, I might look at you, but it was not weird to me. Whatever you want to do.
Kelly,
So if
I
you
had
want
this vision of this post-apocalyptic society that we caused by our lax way of living, like where I'm like, Dude, shower every other day. It's perfectly fine. Robes in public, fine. Then I pictured like the T-1000 scenario, but with people in slippers and robes having to fight the robots, you know? Like everyone they come to wipe out has been benefiting from all this shit for so long by the time the machines decide to exterminate us.
Oh, yeah, there's not going to be a battle.
Right, it's going to be a culling of
We're
us.
just going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
If I die, at least I'll be comfy and happy. Like, I'll just drift off to death like, in my comfy robe.
I hope I die in this
We're all
robe.
going to go to sleep, and then that's it.
Are you Sarah Connor?
And then
She's
the next day is Robot Day.
Bury me in this robe. I'm into it.
I love a robe, especially when you have nothing underneath. And
Robot.
do you love twirling in your robe and make it like spin, like go up? You know, like Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Sure.
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh.
I love running
anyway.
and having it flap in the wind.
Well, go wash it and it'll smell better for all of that. For all of
Robes
that.
are-
Oh, what are those big gray labia doing below that man?
Patrons,
Yes.
thanks for hanging out with us again.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
You sweet.
Listeners, if you want to patronize us, patreon.com/NOTLP. Is that right?
yeah,
Yep.
please patronize us.
And it helps
I just
a
said
lot.
it.
And we have new patrons in there. I mentioned them last time.
And I'm going to say, I didn't get merch out this year, and I apologize. I feel very bad about that. But it is going out this year in the fashion that it normally would.
Is it robes?
So-
Hopefully it's robes.
Can we get robes?
If we could get a robe, that
I'll
would
be
be
so
awesome.
It's all robes. It's all robes.
How close
okay,
are we to becoming
Andy.
a cult at that point, though?
Andy, don't wash your robe. Let's auction it off to all of your fans, your Andy stands out there.
You don't think like people were like, it's like a cult, and then you buy actual robes with the logo on them, and you're like, wait a minute, what have we done? We've done it. We've done it, guys. We literally have NOTLP robes.
They're not going to be cult robes.
We should get NOTLP chalices and daggers.
It'll be a comfy.
I'm
cult.
thinking NOTLP smoking jackets.
Ooh, I like that better.
Fuzzy socks.
So,
Fidget
yeah,
spinners. Those are still in, right?
Pogs.
Oh, I love Pogs.
So do that if you wanna. You don't have to. You can still listen to us and get this show.
Yep.
That you're hearing right now, which is very valuable. I'm certain of it. For the low cost of nothing. But if you want extras, like High Five Happy Hour, which happens regularly, consistently, all the time.
All the time.
You guys are more about
I
as
almost
consistent
texted
as
you about
Pennywise.
it the other day, and then I was like, I don't have time right now.
if you want Night of the Comic, Freddy versus Jason,
Yeah.
do we put out Horror Hound Radio?
We
that
yeah,
us?
I mean, it's not on our Patreon, but it's made
All right,
in
well,
our
that's
studio.
not that. You can get that somewhere
Well,
else. But these other things
they benefit indirectly from your patronage because that money
They use our equipment.
We produce Horror Hound Radio, so
anyway.
Topicana.
That's what's happening. Oh, Topicana. Yeah, we do that almost every week.
yeah.
In fact, I do it all the time.
I like to
and-
rhyme.
And so, if you feel it and you're bursting with cash and you're like, I've given to all the charities and I've taken care of so many souls and I can't even hold on to this where, then maybe think about it.
You want to help
Anyway.
that childless orphan?
Yeah, we have a childless orphan here.
We can call it the Childless Orphan Fund. And you can be like, you know what I gave last year? Thank you.
For the price of 6 or 7 Starbucks coffees a day,
A day?
you can sponsor an adult childless orphan.
Well, we could start a thing for adult childless orphans. A whole thing that we're like, it's this little something for the boredom, and here's something for the relief, and here's something for how your life is super simple, and here's one to grow on, baby. Happy New Year.
And with that, let's jump into our pornographic reenactment.
Yeah, this is normally a Patreon exclusive, but it's our gift.
Yeah, I give you
Yeah.
a free
Oh
ticket.
shit.
Yeah.
Andy's gifting you. This is a high dollar. It's a high ticket item.
Yes. And
That is nasty!
Oh boy.
Show the kitties out of the room.
Millie,
Get
Elsa.
the kitties out and get the
kitty
titties out.
Muffs.
Yeah, because we're gonna be talking about titties.
Oh, no kitties for the kitties.
Okay, for those who don't know, because the porno is very infrequent, like High Five Happy Hour.
Yeah.
But if longtime listeners of the show have known that I review porn parodies, and I think it's fitting for this month especially because we did parodies this month. So parodies nuts, porn parodies. Let's go with it.
This ain't your.
We
This ain't.
actually see some nuts in a parody.
Yeah.
So I chose a very festive one, National Lampoon's porn parody.
National Lampoon's porn
It's in the
parody?
name, Poon.
Is it National Lampoon's Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's. I think it's. This ain't National Lampoon's Vacation XXX. I don't know why you need to put the XXS and the this ain't.
No.
They really need you to know.
Yeah.
They're not going to Wally World. This is
It's the Christmas one.
the Christmas
Yeah.
one, right?
If they say this ain't and then add XXX has become a double negative and then make it back to a regular movie.
It might be the world's most wholesome family movie. Is it, Andy?
No.
Then
Wait,
that didn't work. Kelly.
if your films aren't fucking each other, then
This ain't Triple X,
Yeah.
a Triple X porn parody.
Well, there is that Triple X movies, right?
yeah, the Vin
Yeah.
I
Diesel-
think that's what he meant by the
Is that
joke.
what you were doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh my gosh,
The same-
Andy,
I
get
like
me out of
jokes.
this, please.
I got it, Freddie.
get you out of that
Thank
porn inception.
Get me out of my own dumbness.
Tomorrow on Today.
Okay, right off the bat, I'm gonna say it's not a recommend. Devil's Films,
Oh.
who produced this,
Yeah.
shame on you. It was lazy
Lazy.
and low rent. I'm not saying porns have a big budget or need a big budget, but
Yeah.
if you're making a parody, I need more than people fucking.
Yeah.
I would say if someone describes it as low rent, it probably is.
Yes, I mean most porn is low rent.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
But like I said, if you're making a porn parody, you need a little more than people in a house.
Yeah, that's true. That could be anything.
Yeah.
Big
If you want
Mama's
that, you go
house.
to 1313. This ain't porno lane.
Yeah. Hello. This was filmed in probably was that area that they film all the porns in
Silicon,
in California.
or the Yosemite Valley.
Yes.
Or,
No.
no.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but it's
Not
California.
the valley, but
California.
And I'm not saying you need
This ain't
snow.
Hollywood XXX.
like
They
they
say-
didn't even try to make it look like Christmassy, like
Just because
Illinois,
you,
like
just 'cause
Chicago.
you have
Was it in Chicago?
Yeah,
Where?
Chicago. I
Yeah.
think it's the same neighborhood as the Home Alone people.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Richie rich northern suburbs of,
Right.
of Chicago. Just because you throw a hat on a
San Fernando Valley.
sure,
I'm pretty
sure.
Freddie, none of us were. I don't know. I worked there.
I'm sure it's very festive in San Fernando during Christmas.
Yeah.
But I need for my parodies, I need snow
Okay.
and lights and
If it's gonna do Christmas,
nighttime.
you need snow.
Yes,
You need to-
exactly.
The North American.
They just threw a Santa hat on a dude and called him Clark Griswold.
You really not Cock Griswold.
Well, they called him the Dickwalds again.
The
that's
Dick-
kinda-
Clark
Yeah.
Giswold.
Yeah. That's better
Well,
than
they
Griswold.
Dickwalds.
Griswold.
Doc Griswold, but they weren't the Giswolds?
Yeah, they have to be the Why is the carpet all wet?
They weren't in
This
the movie
movie
either.
easy.
Yeah.
They missed Cock Giswold?
Yeah. They miss Cock Griswold.
The way you said that.
That's these people are not, they need to go back to porno school.
Okay, right off the bat, there's no tension in the movie because the whole point of National Lampoon's he was waiting for his bonus to come,
Right.
and
Is waiting for his boner to come.
His boner to come. He's edging. He's been edged all season long.
Oh my God, we should do this, guys.
But right away,
Let's move to the San Fernando Valley.
The conflict is
For
gone
sure.
because Clark and Ellen, they're home and they made their kids in college age so they can have them fuck too. Because it'd be weird if teenage Rusty and teenage Audrey or
Was there a William Hickey analog?
Yes, that would be weird.
Rusty. They left. Again, it's very low rent, so they can only have a certain amount of characters. They're not going to have
They don't have a huge
big
budget.
cast. It's not the grandparents aren't there, the neighbors aren't there.
Oh no, I pledge allegiance.
Yeah, she's not there. That would have been great. 'Cause have old people fucking that'd be awesome.
I mean, it'd be awesome, I guess, for you.
I just saying, you old people are have desires too.
They do. But William Hickey, man, pumping away on.
No.
That's just something. I guess I do want to see it. Now I say it out loud.
Okay.
Anyway, so right off the bat, he tells them, "Hey kids, we're building a pool. I'm just waiting for my Christmas bonus to come in." But the bonus comes in, and instead of the Jelly of the Month Club,
Wait, you got to guess, guys. What do you think?
Oh, dildo in the month club.
ding ding ding, Amy has a dildo.
Circle gets
It
square.
could be that or lube. Like I don't know.
It could have been as lazy as condom, honestly, I think, from this movie.
No, there's no condom in this movie.
No, they don't wear them.
They don't have the budget.
That's true. No budget.
Okay, this is a pretty old movie. But at what point did condoms go away from porn?
Well, they were never like
I thought
super
they were
popular
illegal.
until
It was illegal not to have them.
For a while
truly
it
don't
was,
know the
yeah.
answers.
from
Like,
what I know,
need
testing is part of the
I need
whole
a porn
professional
historian
process.
to tell me.
I think it
when.
depends on the kind of porn you're watching. I think if you're a studio that's trying to work in an industry like with rules and regs, then they probably do have stuff like that. But because I do remember, I know what you're talking about. I felt like, or at least at one point or for a while, they were like, we're going to make this a thing. But then if you're making amateur, I don't know. And you're just uploading to tube sites. I don't know that
there
matters
was,
at all.
There was a condom in this, but it was used as a joke. So it wasn't used for protection.
Oh,
But this is a studio. So yeah. Wacky.
And this is not. This is probably from 2000, late 2000, like 2009, 2000, early 2000 era.
they might not have been made.
Oh.
Just
because-
for game consoles in the
no, I'm
back
just-
to date it. You're like, oh, that's an N64.
This was not to me a very sexy era because of the fashion. It was. This guy had a flip phone.
Yeah.
So I kind of dated it to then. But it was back like the Abercrombie and Fitch era where the girls, I had like those really orange tans and
Yeah.
with like the light lip gloss and the light eyeshadow and the modified Rachel haircuts.
Oh, modified Rachel.
Modified Rachel with Hemi under the hood.
And like, camisoles and those polos from Abercrombie and those short denim skirts.
Oh no, I gotcha.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's to me that's not a very
Spring break forever.
fashionably good era.
Paris Hilton
Fashionable
look.
era. Yes.
Yeah, they like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch.
And this also the studio tends to go very barely legal, let's say. And all the actresses have that baby porn voice, you know what I mean? I'm not judging, it's just I'm also coming from a gay man's perspective.
They're like,
and
baby, shark.
yeah, it's just not my thing. It's just
You're not into chicks who do baby voices during sex?
Yes.
Gay man? Go on.
What I think, how hilarious would it be though if it was one of them, and their voice was like, it was just like this,
like the Dateline,
like a giant fat man's voice, like just.
I would love
but
that.
it's like, it would be hilarious.
I mean, I would love it to a point. It depends on why I came to the video.
For a parody, they should just redub all the voices like that.
Okay, so right off the bat, the tension and the conflict is gone because
He's already building.
Yeah,
They know the gift.
yeah. But Ellen, the first sex scene comes along, and Ellen puts the dildo of the month club to use.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Her.
they already received them.
yeah. It was in a box, and
Yeah,
he was like, "Look what I got."
there's just one in there, or
There's
she receive
two.
all 12 at once?
All at once. No, you had to wait each month and say, "Ooh, I wonder what I'm going to get this month. Is it the butterfly or the rabbit?"
Yeah, I'm like going about this dildo of the month club.
Yeah. And Uncle Eddie, cousin Eddie, is introduced right away. So
Yeah.
he's not.
He's already living there.
No, like he just says clock. Clock. I don't know why.
It's me, cousin Eddie of Massachusetts.
Clark just says right away, "Hey, cousin Eddie's coming to visit," and he's in the very first couple minutes of the scene. Like, there's no surprise. I'm cousin Eddie.
There's no shits or snots or whatever that dog's name is.
Hold on. There's There's the shitter show scene, but it's not shit. I'll get to that.
I heard a sure scene.
Sure.
He turned into Shishy Spacek.
There's a shitter scene, but it's not what you think it is.
It's not what you think it is. Oh, go on. Can't wait to hear it.
I wonder in a porn, what could it be full? What could it be full of?
My shitter's full.
Let's see. I'll check my notes. Where am I at?
I got the whole dildo of the month club up there, Clark.
And it's also disconcerting to look at the kids that look just as old as the parents. It's just a plot hole to me.
Well, sure. Sure.
First they look too young, then they look too old.
So Ellen tries out the Beverly D'Angelo character, tries out the dildo of the month, and Clark joins in for a sex scene. And also, in every sex scene, there's some pretty bad improv before and after the sex scenes.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when the scene ends and you jizz on a girl's face, the scene should end. There should not be dialogue and more acting. Do you think that's
afterwards. A kind of showing off, though, where they're like, I can immediately come out of this splattery mess spray of my cum and juices everywhere. It's just a mess. And then immediately go into the acting mode again and deliver a line. Do you think that, as someone in the industry, I'd be curious if they're like, the guys who are known as like the Mozarts and the Pablos.
So we're judging on degree of difficulty here.
I don't know if those exist.
It's like how Tom Cruise does his own stunts. We should
it's like, do you ever?
It's fine.
They probably rank each other. Like, does he do post cum jokes? Does he do post cum serious scenes?
Oh, you put it on your sheet.
Yeah, you put it on your sheet and their sheets.
But like I haven't seen a lot of straight porn, but I've seen enough to know like when
you sound like a country lawyer right now.
When the dude comes, the scene kind of ends.
Yeah. Look, now I haven't seen a lot of straight pornography in my day, but I'm just a simple Asian gay man from the Midwest.
This will not hold up to scrutiny in court.
Don't like the baby talk.
But it's just unusual to see acting post cum face.
Yeah.
And they're not good actors too. There's very bad improv.
Well,
I think
what?
You covered that by low rent.
Porn
you can cover that by porn. I mean, that's
exactly.
But they don't have to have bad acting. There's some good ones.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no Evan Stone.
Evan Stone's great.
I have to say, he elevates every project he's in.
Mm-hmm. He really does.
That's
he balances it on his dick.
He literally holds up some of the cast members around him, trusting years of knowledge and experience.
No Evan Stones in this to be found at all.
Yeah.
No.
But I just want to get that out the way.
It's a great Kirk.
Just a bunch of Kevin Rocks.
That's my Kirk. When people ask me who my favorite Kirk is,
Steve Pebble.
Evan Stone is my Kirk.
So that scene ends, and then we cut to Cousin Eddie and his wife. What's her wife in the movie? What's his wife's name?
Oh, it's
I honestly can't remember.
This doesn't sound right. Eddie and it's okay. Keep going.
Anyway,
we'll come
but
back.
They have a sex scene in the RV. They actually rented an RV.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And they have. I'm sure good for them for having a sex scene, very acrobatic on that tiny little RV bed.
Yeah.
So good for them.
Was he wearing that stupid hat?
Yeah,
and
the flaps.
Robe? Yeah.
The flaps and the rope.
That's the most unsexy thing I can think of is Cousin Eddie just pounding away.
But
with
it
that
starts
hat on.
off.
Have you ever seen Randy Quaid's sex tapes?
I mean, yeah.
Oh God.
But you know how in the movie, Cousin Eddie wants to help Clark out after Clark gets all upset for not receiving his bonus.
Yeah.
And then Cousin Eddie goes to the trailer to commiserate with his wife, and the wife says, "Ooh, seeing you so caring for other people makes me horny." That's sexy, right? To see people look out for each other.
Well,
yeah, that's sweet.
To someone, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not immediately sexy, but
not to me, but
it can combine with other traits to make you love someone.
If it's a sincere act of somebody making a sincere act, to me, it's like
Boner City.
It's an attractive thing. Heroism.
Mm-hmm.
Heroism.
But I said
Purists.
this was low rent and lazy, but they actually did reference Vegas Vacation. Remember they had all the money buried in the jars in the cans.
They went for a continuity thing.
Because they were improving.
Yeah.
And the wife was like, "We've done a lot for Clark. We gave him that money that we had buried in the yard in the cans."
So these people who made this movie have seen the other movie.
Yes, I guess so.
Or at least one other movie.
Yeah.
One other movie.
So I give them that for having some knowledge of the universe. The
Does
National
Clark
Lampoon's
get
universe.
trapped in the attic and with the old movies?
No, they cut a lot of this
Yeah,
out. Like I said, I think the neighbors would have been perfect for a porn parody to see what their sex lives are like.
Yeah, what was going over there with Elaine?
Yeah. It's probably like some really
Margot.
fancy sex they're having because they're upper class people.
Oh, yes, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
After you shower, of course.
like you said, the phrase said, like, how the carpet get wet. That's a good scene right there.
Yeah, because you
what-
could have why the carpet got wet. It could be that like Clark was exploding or William Hickey was over there throwing rope. Oh God!
Okay. So after that scene again ends with the girl with the jizz on her face and they're acting still, and she spits in the sink Cousin Eddie's.
Oh.
Just like in the original film.
Yes, but they're like, hey, that looks like that's getting full. We need to empty that out.
Oh, it's the cum shitter.
So instead of shit that their RV is full of, it's full of cum, I guess.
How's that cause a methane explosion?
Don't know.
If I was the makers of this movie, I guess you would have immediately thought, okay, are we going to do the shitters full scene? And if we do, what's the analog here
How do
to
we
our
make it
pornography
porny?
movie?
But just the mathematics of that.
But that I
At
think
most-
is a step too far. I would have gone with like,
I can't even think about that. That's
the lube. We got like
Yeah.
lube,
Yeah.
big tub of lube that jams something. That's what I would have done.
yeah, that's much better, Amy.
Yeah.
Do you
Good
think there's-
solution.
Would there be
Thank
like a
you.
porn parody writer's
You have a
room?
future
Wouldn't that be an
in this
amazing
business.
to be in there? You guys just want to be able
be
to
in
fly
there?
on the wall in one of those
Yeah.
rooms?
Just watching them put stuff up on the whiteboard and other people like scratching stuff off, writing stuff out.
Or do you think they go
Ron
to the
Dix.
first thing that comes to mind?
I don't even think they go. I think they make it up on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. That makes most sense.
Or it's like they could still have the line "Shitter's full," but it's Cousin Eddie giving the
Business?
wife in the butt. Shitter's full.
Yeah, and that would have worked perfectly.
Yeah, that'd have
Exactly.
been better.
Yeah, still crude, but it works
But it
better.
works. Yeah.
It's
But-
much less gross.
So Cousin Eddie goes out and drains what's it called? The septic tank, I guess. But it's full of cum and some white stuff comes out of the
Of
pipe.
course. Mhm.
And then he's waving at Audrey that comes out.
How are the effects? I don't know how else to
It just
phrase
looked
that.
like milk. It
It
wasn't,
wasn't like a high pressured blast of
It,
anything.
it wasn't like gooey or anything. They
Yeah.
just put some diluted paint or milk and just
That's not as fun.
no.
I mean, that's not even. You didn't even pay off the whole joke you set
It's
up.
not gonna
You
be-
didn't have it trickle out
And
after
at one
that.
point, like Cousin Eddie puts his mouth to the tube and
yeah.
blows on it, and a condom falls out.
Right.
And he was like, "Hey, I've been looking for that. You've been looking for a used condom?"
That's consistent with the character of Cousin
I
Eddie,
guess so.
To be fair.
So,
Because he uses them again.
Yeah. Real
You
tomato
get more than
ketchup?
one use out of them.
so Audrey just walks out the house, and she meets a neighborhood boy, and this is way off. This is not in the original.
This
movie.
is not canon,
This is
by the
not
way. Yeah.
So she just has sex with this neighborhood boy, but at the same time, Rusty is having sex with the neighborhood boy's sister in another room.
That is convenient.
It's super convenient.
Yeah.
One-stop shop.
Yeah. One
Jinx.
stop. Jinx you.
Again,
Jinx you.
this was
Jinx
this
you.
lazy way to have more people having sex.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's kind of the mandate of their movie.
Did they do any musical parody bits? Like they try to recreate the theme music or anything?
No. Do you think there was?
Charles
No, they
bit,
do
like
sometimes.
Well, describing this movie, do you think all of a sudden they're going to do?
No,
something
not
above
based
and
on what
beyond?
you've already said.
Yeah.
But
Do you think- is there a scene where he's watching his old sex tapes with Ellen and listening to her?
Create me the other time of year.
And the girl from the the department store, you can't see the lines.
Yeah.
That would have been a perfect opportunity.
They didn't use that?
No.
Mary,
Yeah, they
that's
made
my
this
name.
on the day.
Yeah. So so A for picking a great movie to parody because I love that movie.
True enough.
Great movie.
But
Great movie.
really, it's a thumbs down for the effort. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. It's just
Yeah.
I need more.
No, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
These thumbs are not ambivalent. They are fully down.
Fully
They are
down.
flat as
At
the
the-
thumbs.
At the very end, everybody comes together for dinner.
Ah.
Yeah. And Clark just looks into a tree, and this white furry creature jumps out at him, and the movie ends.
Oh, they didn't do the whole squirrel chase
No.
scene? They're like, oh, man, we are out of VHS.
So it was just a weird way to end the movie.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess they tried to just throw another reference in to make it a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation parody.
Yeah.
The MPAA made them put that in there.
Sorry, I just hit my microphone.
Did you,
being an idiot trying to say hi
if
to
you like
Alise.
it, listening to Andy talk about porn parodies, you can go to our Patreon page and you can sort by, there's a little porner tag or keyword.
If you're like, this only got me half hard, let's see what else we got.
You can go back and look at all these other instances
I hope
of
you aren't
porners
listening, Mom.
past. The ghosts of porners past. Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Well, Andy, thanks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, patrons. Well, thank you, potential patrons.
Thank you, anyone who's listening.
Thanks, investors and shareholders alike.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed this gift.
Sorry about all
I
the
did.
squeaking and the moving around.
You usually bring us some other titles to laugh at.
Not that they stopped doing like pun titles. They just throw this ain't in front of it or add an XXX at the end of it and call
They
it
just
a day.
don't try anymore. That's really sad. Well then, since we don't have fun titles from the porno industry, we provide our own fun title. We're about to do our year end, rear end.
Oh,
butts,
yeah.
butts.
Spank 'em if you got 'em.
Butts.
If you got a butt, spank it. That's from
Fasten your
us.
seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
A butt bumpy night.
I think I heard in the background
Anyway.
one of the guys says, "What are you suggesting?"
All right, yes.
So,
Put your glasses on, Kelley.
welcome. Well, I have to read.
Yeah.
Welcome to our wrap up shit. As we said earlier, that's what this is. And we watched a shit ton of movies. And we're going to tell you which ones of we're going to go around the room for new listeners, we do this semi differently every year.
We really
We're
do.
going to go around and we're going to say our best and worst straight to video experiences. Shall we start with that?
Yes.
Then after that, listeners, now here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you we say top 5.
Yes.
Yes.
We're just going to say our top 5 of the main features and possibly go into some recollections of such. So,
Memories.
are you strapped in? Are you locked and loaded?
Get your robes on.
I am now.
So, shall we go in then the order that Andy has them in on the list here?
We should.
All right. Well, then that starts with myself. And these were the straight to video movies that I watched almost last year. It's almost last year, but it's still this year.
Clear.
I watched the last thing Mary saw, but it was the first thing I saw. in 2022. I don't think I liked it. I also watched Slap Face.
Declare.
Yeah, it's a relative of Jug Face. Books of Blood. V Sadness. Not a sadness. Master. Moloch. Deadstream and The Watcher. I'm going to say I guess I like Books of Blood best, which is funny because I thought I was not going to like it because it didn't represent elements from the anthologies. I thought it was going to be like a whole thing, and it wasn't. But then it ended up being actually pretty good. the stories that they did work in, they did a really good job of weaving together. And so I really like Books of Blood. That was good. That's on Hulu. It's your Clive Barker. It's pretty good. It's pretty weird.
It's my Clive Barker? Or your
It's your Clive Barker.
It's your Clive Barker.
It's your grandma. It's not your grandma's Clive Barker.
Not.
Now Slapface was probably my second most favoritist. And it's a weird one. But I like that one pretty good too.
Yeah.
Then my leastest of favorites was The Watcher, which was parading itself around as like an actually dramatic movie when it was actually just an empty thin shell, like a thin phyllo dough shell of nothing.
Yes.
That's how I felt about that movie. And that's how that movie was. No substance at all. I remember that because it was the last one I watched, and it wasn't that long ago. So that's what I liked and didn't like.
Yeah.
You got a problem with that? Anyway,
Kelley won, I guess, because he had the least amount of Russian roulettes.
I always do. I don't know what the it's like the universe senses me not wanting to watch a second movie, and it's like, let's look out for this dude. So let's move on to Andy. All right. And
I watched a total of 9 roulettes. So I tied for second with Freddie. Amy was the far and away the winner. She watched a movie like probably every other week in this year.
God damn it.
You greedy bitch.
I don't want to be.
Let's say my favorite was... let's start with the worst. My worst was probably Choose or Die. I choose...
Well, what all did you watch?
Okay, we need to do something. And we did. My heart won't beat unless you tell it to.
Beat!
Points off just for the title. Come on, that's too many words. Choose or Die. Fresh, The Reef, The Last Matinee, Who Invited Them, Horror in the High Desert, and Slashback. I have to say, I was very happy with most of these movies.
Yeah.
Of course, there's going to be some duds, but for the most part, I had good choices. I had good picks. Like I said, the worst was Choose or Die, and the best, I have to say, was Slashback. Again, the last thing I watched, like Kelley.
I remember you were very effusive.
That was really, really good.
Yeah.
But like Fresh was also really good. That's on Hulu, starring actual people.
What?
What?
Check out Slashback or Fresh. Those are really good ones.
Okay. I will. Maybe. I mean, we'll see. Do you want me to go next, Kelley?
Well, it is your turn to go next. Do you need me to read off your choices?
I mean, if you want to.
Do you want me to?
No, I can.
Okay. Well, you do it since we've established this.
Right. We really planned this, listener. So I did have a long list, and I'm going to tell you, I don't remember many of these. Blood Moon, I Blame Society, No Exit, Titanic 666. I remember that one. The Stylist.
A Triple X porn parody.
Yes. The Cellar, Revealer, Shark Side of the Moon. I remember that one. Glorious, Speak No Evil, Day Shift, and Incantation.
Jesus.
Yeah, right. I'm going to be truly honest with you. The only ones I remember are the ones I know that are bad, or the last two I watched. Day Shift I really liked. I'll say Day Shift is my favorite, but I don't know if that's true. But we're going to say it is for right this moment.
Well, I've got receipts on social media. I can just pull them up and say, and put you on trial.
When we go to the reunion and Andy Cohen asks, I'm going to whip out a binder.
I watched one of these with you, at least one of them, but one that I remember and I liked quite a bit was Glorious.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it, but I don't know that it was my favorite. I will say the worst that I watched was Titanic 666.
Predictably.
It wasn't even good. It wasn't even fun. Shark Side of the Moon was a blast.
Predictably.
So terrible. So bad.
It's no Feeders or Feeders 2.
Which we just watched. on Riff Tracks. Yeah. So there's your thing. I'm done.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Good job,
Thank you.
Freddie.
All right.
Tell your a report to the class.
I saw a movie called The Seventh Day, which I do not remember in any way. That rhymes. Mass Hysteria, which was an okay comedy, but I like the main thing for that was it was filmed in Salem. That was kind of cool.
It was all about cats and dogs living together.
Hellbender was a film that a family made together. I thought that was pretty neat about.
Oh yeah.
But not something. Well, I was not the audience for it. Meander was a standout for me, which was kind of like Cube, if you've ever seen the movie Cube. The Seed could have been a great funny little movie, but wasn't anything substantial enough to
Can't
be
believe
worth
you remember
revisiting.
all of these.
I went back and looked.
Oh, wow.
Lantern's Lane, I barely remember that, but I remember it being painfully like derivative, and it hurt to the point that it hurt at points.
It hurt.
Painful movies.
Mad God was the standout overall over all these, but that's also somebody's life's work in stop motion animation. And if you haven't seen Mad God, take the time to watch it, especially if you're a fan of stop motion.
It is. It's on my list. I've been saving it for like a nice night to kick back and watch some animation.
Yeah, it's perfect to kind of zone out to. It's very old school because of who did it. It's Tippett. Is that his?
Bill Tippett.
Tippett.
Bill Tippett.
He worked on Star Wars and all these other big franchises and everything, but
he was supposed to do the Jurassic Park dinosaurs.
Yeah, and then what's great is like he never turned his back on the art that he was doing, and it kept going, and that's what Mad God became. They Them was very forgettable. Could have been something special, and again, it was just kind of dull. And Christmas Bloody Christmas, I didn't do it for me either. It just I felt so disconnected from it. It felt like very much like not phoned in. I mean, they were clearly loving life. It was more like it made me feel old, and I think that might be me reacting to how old the movie made me feel. Was me being just a bastard about being older. And like,
is that your least favorite of the year?
Yeah, it might be my least favorite of the year, but at the same time, it might be somebody's 14-year-old or 13-year-old out there might pick that movie up with friends, and it will become like a treasured memory.
That's going to be their national
It might,
weapons.
but if you're talking about me as
Which
the
is
audience,
what we're doing right now,
right? I'm the wrong audience for it.
So your favorite was Mad God, and your least favorite was Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, do you want?
So,
yes, you go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say. So now, everyone that's listening to us still with us, we're going to do our main features, main attractions. I'm just going to go through the list of themes and movies.
Yeah.
And then everybody, we're going to do our top fives.
Yeah.
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 Keep it loosey goosey if you wanna.
All right.
So
it's easy.
The month of January, which is coming up, I've been trying to think of my choice for this. Podcaster's choice. The films were Dirty Dancing, Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, Highlander, Can't Buy Me Love, and The Thing. Next month after that theme, Space Opera. It was Flash Gordon, Duke, and Spaceballs.
Strike me down.
Following that, we had cheerleaders, just cheerleaders. Cheerleader camp. There's no plural to that. It's just cheerleader camp. Satan's cheerleaders, and all cheerleaders die. Then we had Andy's Circus. Andy's Circus. But it was circus movies, or freaks movies. We had Freaked, which was a great first time watch for me. Nightmare Alley, also a great first time watch for me. And The Last Circus, which is an okay first time watch for me. Actually, I don't know that I like that much. Dean Koontz, I Can Smell Your Koontz. Follow that.
Credit Andy for all these.
Or
no, that was
that
was Kelly's.
was that you,
yeah.
Kelly?
Was it? I didn't even remember that. But good for me. All right.
Smell your Koontz.
But we watched Phantoms, Demon Seed, and Odd Thomas. Then we had Yes Queen, which is Queen movies. We had
Because it
Queen
was
of
the
the
Queen's Diamond Jubilee or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, she did.
That bitch died right after.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes. We had Queen of the Damned. We have Multiple Maniacs and Final Girls. Then we have Rutger Hauer. How are you doing? Month with Split Second, Blind Fury, and Hubu with a Shotgun. Then Cosmic Horror with Annihilation from Beyond and the Banshee chapter. I added the. There's no article in the actual title. We follow that up with Hispanic Heritage Latinx Month, sponsored and joined to us by with Lewis.
That was like the biblical expression of our relationship. Curated by Lewis Fowler, or joined to under these the sprigs and sprites of many a tree that have wandered.
And guested upon. For which we watched The Batwoman, Beatriz at Dinner, and Cheeky Dracula.
Cheeky Dracula. There's certain movies every year that will stick with me, and I think Cheeky Dracula is one of them.
Cheeky Dracula. So then we did our Halloween TV specials. And so this is going to sound like a whole bunch, but you know, they're short. So we have Perfect Strangers, Wings, Renault 911, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, The Real Ghostbusters, Small Wanda, Modern Family, Tacoma FD, Werewolf by Night, Solar Opposites, The Ghost Rider, and we also did Poloni Show, which is not on here, I think.
Oh yeah, Lenny Show.
Did we ever end up doing an episode on it? We were
Or did
gonna,
just
and then
all
we
watch
didn't.
it?
Oh,
Yeah,
did we not
didn't
talk
do
about it?
No, we never put it on the show.
All right, redact that, redact it. Just get it out of there. They didn't do that. I'm not lying to you.
Oh my god.
The Ghost Rider, though, right? Remember?
Yes.
Tony Perkins?
Tony Perks.
Lord. All right.
I'm so glad
So
to
then
know
we-
that is a real thing, and I've experienced it.
You
It's
have.
in there.
I wouldn't have believed it.
Yeah, shout out
Coming up.
Shout out to Dustin for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. So then we're getting close to where we just left behind. Deals with the Devil. We had Hunk, Crossroads, and Needful Things. And then this last time we did parodies, nuts, because we did parodies, as you know, if you listened. Student Bodies, Galaxy Quest, not really a parody, and Young Frankenstein. And there you go. So let's
Thank
go.
you.
Let's,
What a year.
Yeah.
What a year. So do you guys want to do the order that we did for the others? Or do you want to? What do you want to do?
Everybody shout out their top 5 at the same time.
No. Let's start with let's all just say things. Kelly.
All right. So I will say.
Are we starting with top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll start up. You want me to say all 5 of mine? Or do you want to go around?
We'll go around.
All right. So one of my top 5s would be, you know what it is? I'll tell you.
Okay, I'll
It's
start then.
All cheerleaders died.
Okay.
I think I would. That would be in my
Yes.
top 5 show.
That's an honorable mention for me.
Yeah.
Thank you, John Wagner.
That's right. He produced that.
Yeah,
one.
our buddy.
That's a fun movie.
Andy.
Start off at The Thing. That's
good one.
Our friend
I mean-
Michael Lynch picked that.
That's right.
Good one.
I'm not just saying that because we know him, but it was a good pick.
For me, Flash Gordon, man, was getting
Yeah,
to watch
that's
that.
on my list too.
Yeah, watching that with Amy, like, because seeing Flash Gordon through somebody else's eyes is always like a really like great experience for me.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's in my top 5 too. I guess Freaked. I think did I like
Yes.
it when we did the show? Because
That's in my top 5 too.
I had a warm feeling seeing
Mine
it
too.
here. So I was like, Freaked. Let's put that in there. Kelly.
So then another one that hasn't been said by someone else already for me is Multiple Maniacs. I love John Waters.
That's in my top 5.
This is one I hadn't seen. Really crazy shit as usual. And it tickled all my nasty John Waters parts. And it made me laugh.
Wow. Andy.
Oh, well, everybody's just named all my top 5 already.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's The Thing, Flash Gordon, Freaked, Multiple Maniacs, and one that hasn't been mentioned yet is Annihilation.
That's one of my favorites.
Good choice. Good choice.
Very powerful movie. It's one of my favorites, like sci-fi movies, and I love that director too.
Yeah. Do you?
I
Who
do.
was it?
Alex Garland.
Yeah, he did Ex
just
Machina.
kidding.
If you haven't seen that
okay.
one, Amy, I think you'd
gotcha.
really like it.
Ready?
Yeah, I agree with Andy. Annihilation, but also from that same month, Banshee chapter.
Oh,
I
interesting.
feel like it's a really underrated, nice and simple, scary story. I really appreciated that.
It was good. Now it's on my. I had one from that on my list, which was From Beyond.
Oh, you guys
which,
all
yeah.
picked one.
I had not seen before, and that movie blew my balls off. So
Good old Barbie
Good for-
cramps.
Yeah,
good for it. Love me some Barbie cramps.
Nobody said, and I'm gonna say Beatrice at Dinner. I think that was
Well, that's one of my top 5.
okay. Yeah, I thought that was a surprise,
Yeah,
a revelation.
that was really good.
felt like an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents or The Twilight Zone or something.
It was really good.
Very heavy
for
though,
sure.
so be prepared.
Right.
Yeah, this.
Yeah, eat light before you go to that dinner. Like have a light lunch.
Yeah, don't fill up on grief.
Don't fill up on grief.
Have like some Happy Gilmore for lunch, and you'll be all right.
I feel like every year, like the Halloween TV specials is a run of fun for me. Like I love as far as themes go, that might be.
I look forward to it every year. It's my favorite.
But individual
too.
things, there's always a movie like Beatrice at Dinner that stands out where it's like, oh, that's what movies are when movies are their best. They should do what
Yeah.
that movie did.
And thank you, Lewis, for always picking really interesting things that
Yeah.
I would have never seen.
Cheeky Dracula.
Yeah. The Batwoman was super fun too.
Oh yeah, she was.
Oh, it sure was.
Batwoman.
She was. So I'll go again. Now I'm going to skip over the specials for right now because there's so many of them.
I don't even
I feel like
look at
that's-
those for this.
All right, well,
Unless
then
there's
there
a
you go.
movie in there, but that's me.
That's good. I'll do that. So my next favorite then was Crossroads. That's definitely one of my top 5. Again, first time watch for me. Love the shit out of it. Kind of can't wait to watch it again with Alise. Man, I love that movie.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
a
good.
really fun movie.
What was Cheerleader Camp?
I don't remember. Well, that was like John Carradine, wasn't it? Like a real super low budget.
It
That was
just
the-
a
I-
slasher.
that was-
It's literally
yeah.
a killer to camp, and
Oh, it was terrible, wasn't it?
yeah, one of the jealous mascot ends up to being the killer, and
Okay, never
they're
mind.
being picked off one by one, and
No memory imprint
yeah.
whatsoever on that one.
I remember that because I watched it a lot when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It is funny
Where-
though. Yeah, it's hard to rank any of this stuff.
Well,
in
yeah,
a
we're
real
just kind
way.
of talking about the
Yeah.
ones that struck our heart.
Yeah.
Kelly, where are we? What are we doing?
Well, I'm going to say basically my last one that I hadn't said, and I may, that may have been more than 5 for me because I shared one with you guys. But Galaxy Quest was again one I hadn't revisited in a very long time, and really enjoyed. Although honorable mention to Student Bodies, that was a real treat. That was a real treat. I had a fucking great time with that.
I was still laughing
You
about
know
that
what? I'll say that's my
psychiatrist scene.
5th one.
That was funny.
That movie
That was your
fucking
5th one?
And then he just pushed his chair out, hit the wall. I'll never get over that
Yeah.
moment.
It was kind of like almost like a Strangers with Candy moment.
That's my
Yeah,
last.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, I think like that movie. I could very much see those same people making Student
Stole the
Bodies.
TV.
Yeah, stole the TV.
I saw the TV. But yeah, I think overall, I think we actually liked even the ones I think a lot of the time that we didn't think. Well, I didn't think I was gonna like. I often think I'm not gonna like things, and a lot of times I turn out to be right. But I was so pleasantly surprised so many times this year.
Nobody put Hunk in their top 5?
That was super fun though.
It was.
Yeah.
It
Definitely
wasn't in
not
my
top
top 5, but I
material.
really liked Hunk. I liked all
I
three.
think for the most part we've been picking good movies. There's some stinkers in there. Don't get me wrong, but
Even the losers.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of losers, are we going to talk
Yeah.
about the ones we didn't like?
Oh, I don't even think there is anything. It was a big loser.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say, it was Small Wonder. I think all of
Yeah,
us
Small
here.
Wonder.
Small Wonder
That
was just.
episode that we
Phantoms
watched.
was real bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna pile on
yeah.
to Small Wonder
Yeah.
and Perfect Strangers. If you wanted a night,
Whoa. Let's back up a second.
Yeah.
What about Perfect Strangers didn't you like?
Oh shit!
You said what?
No.
You
If
said
you want a
what?
very specific night, is all I'm saying. You start off with Small Wonder to get yourself good and mad. Then you go into Perfect Strangers where you're like, oh, this is just as stupid as Small Wonder, but somehow still has some value.
No. Oh.
That episode
Yikes.
was really dumb.
It's like when I
shit
told
on
him
Kelly's pick.
that I didn't like The
no.
Dark Knight.
I love Perfect
There is
Strangers.
no way that episode is anywhere near as dumb as the entire run.
You're right. You're right.
Wonder.
But then
Well, yeah, that's
and then
not
you pull
a-
into Phantoms.
That was written by people who could read. Like it was. There were professionals that made that episode of Perfect Strangers. That episode of Small Wonder and the whole series indeed just accidentally happened.
It's
Yeah.
the same people who made
People
that
just
porn
wandered in
parody.
and
I'm
did
just
it.
saying, the
It's
Perfect
lazy.
Strangers
They did it on
writing
the day.
staff were not standing quite as tall that particular day.
Now maybe so.
In comparison to Perfect Strangers as a series, their Halloween episode
Okay,
is jarring.
I see what you're saying.
So that I should frame it that way. But you watch Small Wonder first to just really fuck your palate completely up.
Do you see Freddy
That-
just desperately trying to regain his friendship with you?
Wouldn't that be the worst way for our friendship to end? Where I'm like, Halloween episode of Perfect Strangers, man.
Who would have thought this was the last episode on OTLP?
You're like, did you fuck
The
my
only
wife?
way- what would have been hilarious is if I just like took my headphones off and like slammed them down and wandered off, but I
Don't be
didn't turn off
ridiculous.
it at all.
And we never see you again, even though you live literally 2 minutes
You
away.
just stay in the
Cousin
Zoom.
Kelly, don't be ridiculous.
So anyway, I think we can all agree
Yeah,
that
but wrap
Small
your night
Wonder,
up with Phantoms. Put the kids to
Yes.
bed because you don't want them seeing
but
Phantoms.
Small Wonder was worse than
Yeah.
Phantoms.
Small Wonder was
Yeah.
worse than anything.
Although it is 3 Phantoms, or it is 1/3 of Phantoms. If you think
There's
about
3
it.
small wonders right there.
Phantoms is 3
Smallest
small
wonder.
Phantoms is pretty damn bad.
if you're trying to do the exchange rate,
Yeah,
I have to say,
one Phantoms equals 3 Small Wonders.
yeah.
I feel so bad about disrespecting Perfect Strangers,
Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
but this episode is very odd in comparison to the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like there's always like bad episodes of all good series, right?
Yeah. I just don't. I like the realistic Perfect Strangers episodes.
I get you.
The more grounded ones.
I know what you mean. Yeah, the serious ones.
Yeah.
The character development episodes. I got you.
The character when Balky and Larry become closer, and it's
When they
actually
learn a lesson.
touching and it's nice.
Yeah.
And then this one's just too much nightmare scenario. It's like if it plays like the Family Matters one.
Oh,
Well, that makes sense because it's the same
Puppet
thing.
Urkel.
Yeah, it's very much that. The
That's a
Perfect
Miller Boy
Strangers-
production.
It felt like a nightmare
Yeah.
to you, right?
It was like a nightmare. Yeah, and and it was very
A waking
disturbing.
one.
This is a
I
disturbing.
get you.
It was no happy dance.
It's
it
fine.
was an angry dance.
Yeah,
It made me laugh my balls off, but that's fine.
I gotta trust Balky. I can't have Balky cast into this character that could be my downfall.
I don't know what is happening.
That's
that
true.
makes
I
sense.
understand. You don't want evil Balky. That he is a pure soul.
Queen of the Dam was real bad too.
Oh, that shit
It
was
certainly was.
Damn was really bad.
Oh, it was terrible.
It's in the name. It's damned.
Damn.
No
was-
offense to Aaliyah, God
Poor
rest her soul,
Aaliyah.
because she's a goddess.
Yeah. But boy, was that a bad movie. Bad. Real bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not even like bad in a good way.
sorry.
Just bad.
Yeah.
So all right. I think we did it.
Did we
I
done
think
do
we
it?
I think we took this year and we stuck it in its rear. And
Spanked it.
it was consensual and it accepted that and enjoyed it.
Amy's about to thank our Beelzebubs, but I wanted to remind you I'm going to be playing my new song.
Beelzebutts. Oh, that's right, yes.
Beelzebub Bouncing Baby Boys.
Freddie, set it up again and then also mention where it can be found across the universe.
Go to your usual streaming places like Spotify, Apple Music, or YouTube. I'll put links, or have Amy help me put links in the episode description.
But what if you're
for
like,
that 1 hour.
I'll do that later, but how do I search it?
You just search Bouncing Baby Boys
Or Freddie Morris?
by Freddie Morris, wherever you get your music, but that's what we're going to close out on
Well,
after
I'll throw a link on the social medias.
Please, thank you.
Yeah.
I
One of
did a
these
bad
dogs
job. I
farted.
released this on Christmas Eve thinking that would be a fun thing to do.
No, people busy.
People are too busy to check out new music on Christmas Eve.
I mean, I know you're a childless orphan. And
I'm a
you
childless
aren't.
orphan. I was trying to target
You got
people.
plenty of time for music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to target people like me who might be on Christmas Eve just kind of looking for new things. And you know what? Don't. It's not. If I have any advice for anyone, is don't release anything.
Yeah, you're not a good marketer.
No, I'm terrible at it.
All right. Gonna say hi to the Beelzebubs again. Go to patreon.com/NOTLP to figure out all that stuff and get the extra stuff that's over there. I'm gonna say these names and I'm just gonna say them.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not gonna do any jokes.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna do a funny voice. Okay. I'm not even gonna sound happy about reading it. Just kidding. Okay. Here we go. Alise, Alyssa, Branan and Emily, Jeffel, Dustin, Iona Goodwin, on a great one, Dr. Brian, Bill, aka Jerk Bitch Boat. Again, we need to work on that. Bill Farner, Blake, Blayne, Jordache Jeans,
Yogurt.
Blayne Yogurt, Joe is Jordache Jeans, Paul. Paul got a new baby. I'll shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Bowie.
dog, but it's a baby. It's a baby dog. Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora, Ernie, Dave Siebert, and Monica.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me
for
play
hanging
my
with us.
song.
You're welcome.
Thank you
I'm just
for
kidding.
being with
I want to hear it.
us this year.
No, yeah, it's been a good one.
It's been a good year.
been a good one.
We've made it.
And this is a great way. This is a great way to send us out.
Yeah. I love this for us.
Freddie's changed his life this year a little
Big
bit.
time.
you
A
know?
lot of ways.
Yeah.
I'm still have this
One-armed
one arm,
man.
and I'm trying to recoup.
If you guys see Harrison Ford,
This is the fruit of your labor.
Yeah.
let him know.
All right.
We know we're the one-armed man. Is it Harrison Ford, right? Okay, bye.
I love you guys. Bye.
Smells like burnt sugar, cigarette smoke. A beat up cabinet, grimy knobs and buttons. Screen flickers and speakers hum. But I still hear that theme. Little man jump, jump. Bouncing baby boys. 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 Bouncing baby boys.